Let's move on to Sunday action. 3:30 p.m. Eastern, Los Angeles Rams 12-5, 7-2 on the road at Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 13-4, 7-1 at home. We're at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. 57 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour. Man, these games are so exciting. All four of them, especially these games on Sunday. These Buccaneers opened up at Pinnacle at -3 at plus 105. They're now -3 at plus 108. Earlier today, they were -3 at plus 110. Will 2.5s be around? They have floated around at some of these books. This total opened at 48 at -114 to the over. It's now -111 to the over, but we have seen Sports Interaction use the over 48.5. So Sports Interaction has moved it a half point. 12,596 tickets in. 44% of the tickets are on the Buccaneers and 65% of the cash is on the Buccaneers. And that has changed in the last 18 hours or so, because earlier the Rams had the higher percentage of the actual cash, and that has changed towards the Buccaneers. 87% of tickets on the over, 98% of cash on the over, and it's not really moving fast to the over. There's Terry Walker saying love the over. There's our guy Razor Sharp Picks in the house, as Packers by 1 million. You're welcome. And our Razor Sharp Picks welcomed his son Bryson into the world yesterday. Congratulations, Razor. As you know, what a beautiful family you have got rolling. I've got started there with your daughter and your son, and so exciting to see Bryson. 8 pounds 9 ounces. Bryson, welcome to our world yesterday. Much love to you, Razor Sharp Picks. So Rams coming off a dominant 34-11 home victory over the Cardinals in the wild card. I am wearing a Razor Sharp Picks hat right now as well. Shout out to Razor. They have now won 6 of 7. Stafford was 13 of 17 for 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Wins his first playoff game in 13 years. Cooper Kupp caught 5 passes for 61 yards and a touchdown. Odell Beckham caught 4 passes for 54 yards and a touchdown. Also completed a 40-yard pass, and he looks like a happy football player. A lot of players, you don't need to worry about that shit. Odell Beckham, you do. And he's a happy football player right now. Sony Michel, 13 carries for 58 yards. Cam Akers looked strong in his second game back. 17 carries, 55 yards. He caught that 40-yard pass from Odell Beckham as well, that one catch on the day. Tyler Higbee, for those of you in the player prop market, should be looked at closely. Tampa Bay allowed 92 receptions and a 73% catch rate to tight ends during the regular season. This defense completely locked Kyler Murray down. They finished with 2 sacks, 5 quarterback hits. Von Miller had 6 tackles and a key early sack. David Long Jr. returned them interception for a touchdown. Marquise Copeland also had a touchdown. Eric Weddle got playing time for the Rams. I was very interested to see how much playing time he would get. He ended up playing 34% of the Rams' defensive snaps, and he returned out of retirement, a 6-time Pro Bowler out of retirement after Taylor Rapp was lost to a concussion, and Jordan Fuller to a season-ending ankle injury. Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off a dominant 31-15 performance at home over the Eagles on Wild Card Week. They were up 31-0 after 3 quarters. Tom Brady was 29 of 37 for 271 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Mike Evans caught 9 passes for 117 yards and 1 touchdown. Gronk caught 5 passes for 31 yards and a touchdown. Keyshawn Vaughn ran 17 times for 53 yards and a touchdown, caught 2 passes for 9 yards. It was Giovanni Bernard, though. He ran 13 times for 44 yards and caught 5 passes for 39 yards. He played very, very well. And we've always known that he can catch out of the backfield, but he was running as well. This defense looked dominant. They sacked Jalen Hurts twice. They hit him 10 times. Tampa Bay's defense was fortified by the return of the linebackers Levante David, Shaquille Barrett, and Jason Pierre-Paul. They shut down the Eagles' top-ranked rushing offense, allowing just 95 yards on the ground, 34, which came on the 1 run from Boston Scott. Mike Edwards had 9 tackles, 1 for a loss, and a pick. Shaquille Barrett also had a pick, but the Bucs continued to battle injuries. So we knew Chris Godwin was gone for the year with that torn ACL. They played without Fournette and Ronald Jones. It's the offensive line that we are now very concerned with for them. Right tackle Tristan Wirfs, who's been so good this year, and he's such a key piece. He rolled his ankle in the first half. He tried to come back, visibly unable to put any weight on that right foot. Ryan Jensen, and I apologize for my son in the background. He's sick, and I apologize for the sounds of my family in the background. God damn. Ryan Jensen went down on the next drive, and both are going to play this weekend. Both are not going to be 100%. Both are very key components to this team. The defensive line the Rams' very strong defensive line should be able to take advantage of these injuries to the Buccaneers. Buccaneers gave up 4 sacks against the Eagles. The Eagles were 29th in sack percentage. If they give up that many sacks to the Philadelphia Eagles. What are they going to give up to the LA Rams? Bebsy, take it away here, Rams, Buccaneers.
Well, listen, it's Tom Brady in the playoffs, but one thing you said is so key is the fact that not only is Tampa dealing with injuries to their star firepower offensive players, but with Jensen and Wirfs ailing, facing the likes of Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, and most importantly, Aaron Donald. Now, what does Tom Brady hate the most? It's pressure up the middle in his face. Who delivers more pressure up the middle in people's face than Aaron Donald? So if Aaron Donald has an edge over an injured Ryan Jensen, that's going to spell some trouble. There's not as many stars here to bail them out right now. But it's Tom. Tom's going to get the ball out quick. We know he's going to do that. Rams side of the ball, look, they were phenomenal last weekend, but Arizona was terrible. Kyler Murray just ran around scared. Cliff Kingsbury showed exactly what kind of coach he is, and that's a guy who's simply not prepared for a well-balanced opponent. Listen, this guy's overrated. He's not a good coach. As a Niners fan, I'd love for him to stay in Arizona forever. I flip-flop on this game, and I'm not sure which team will come on. I understand why people don't have trust in Stafford, and I don't either. But there is so much talent on that team, and Akers looks like he's shot out of a cannon right now. The injuries to Tampa, it's just this back and forth. If I was to bet, I would take Los Angeles and the points because I think they could outright win this game. So I think giving them many points at all is too much. But that's not my look in this. My look is the over because I do, as good as this Rams defense is, and they will be great, I think the Rams can put up points against this Tampa. And I just think Tom's going to respond like it's Tom Brady. You know he's going to do it. So I think this ends up being a very high-scoring affair, even though we know the strength of the Rams comes from that defensive prowess. But I just feel like this winds up being a high-scoring game.
The over 48 is available right now at Pinnacle. As I said, some books have moved it to 48.5, but Pinnacle still hanging at 48. So let's get you that over 48 at minus 111 for Bebsy in Rams Buccaneers. Initially, I was thinking that the Buccaneers could still take care of business. I'm starting to get cold feet and look forward to hear all the analysis that we're going to have today on this show. Pavi, we move on to Sunday action. Rams, Buccaneers. I already broke this game down. Not going to do it again. We want to hear your take on it. But the issues right now are Wirfs and Jensen on the offensive line, more injuries that the Buccaneers are dealing with. They have the right man for the job, Tom Brady. How are you betting this one?
I agree with you because I initially was leaning to the Bucs too, and then I did see that money shift towards the Bucs in the last 4 hours or something.
It looks like that, yeah.
I was confused. I was like, wow, a lot of people are on the Bucs, and the public money is on, or a lot of the public earlier was on the Rams, but then I saw it shift to the Bucs, and I firmly believe people are going to ride Tom Brady, as we get closer to the game on Sunday. But the injuries are concerning. Like that Rams defensive line is real good. You saw Von Miller play a really good game against the Cardinals the other day. Like now that they were good, and then they added Von Miller, where you're like, oh, what are you going to get from Von? Is he hurt? And is he old? But he's starting to come into it a little bit. The defense is real good. I just think this is a lot of injuries for Tampa. They came into this playoffs without Fournette. Is he playing? Is Leonard Fournette playing? I know he's not going to be 100% if he is.
We haven't had the confirmation on Fournette at this point.
And Godwin's out, right?
Godwin's done for the
He's
year.
gone. Now you look at Evans, who's tremendous, but he's gonna be, it's a wash now with Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey's really had his number, so you're right
absolutely.
there.
So now not just the offensive line woes. You're looking at some skill players that are they're a little behind the eight ball now without Fournette and without Godwin, right? That really leaves you Gronk, and this defense is real good. I want to say something. A lot of people love the over in this game, and I don't know why. I lean under. I'm not going to put it in, but I just think these two defenses. I know the Rams are rolling right now, but I think these two defenses could really. It's going to be like a bit of a defensive struggle. So I'm not going to lock that in because I do like the Rams. I really do. I think they're clicking right now. Stafford obviously scares me. You've seen it over the years. A lot of unnecessary turnovers, and that could turn the game. Last year it happened. In my opinion, if Drew Brees doesn't throw 3 picks, they're going to the Super Bowl. So it could happen again this year. Stafford could make some critical errors, and next thing you know, Tom Brady's got the ball with 2 minutes left, and he's going into. We've seen that a trillion times. So obviously, not going to be shocked that the Bucs win here. I just think the injuries are starting to mount up on the offensive line. That's the last thing you need when you're going against this dominating Aaron Donald. The guy's the best defensive player in football. He might be the best football player overall. And it just looks like that offense is starting to go. Odell Beckham's looking real good. Akers is back. They smacked the Cardinals around last week. Smacked them around last week. I think they're getting healthy, confident, and you never want to ride against Brady, but I'm on the Rams at +3.
The Rams at +3. I like the breakdown. It makes a ton of sense here, Pavi. Let's lock you in. We have the Rams available. That's too much juice over there. +3 -120.
Yeah, don't juice me, Jim.
Yeah, I'm going to line shop for you while you break down this Bills Chiefs spot to Sunday action. Matt Stafford, fresh off his first playoff win in 13 years, travels to Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, Florida, to take on the GOAT, 7-time Super Bowl winner, Tom Brady, who has to put this team on his shoulders, dealing with a ton of injuries. We already talked about Godwin, Antonio Brown freaking out. We've talked about Fournette and Jones being out, but now the offensive line, now the players that protect them in Wirfs and Jensen are hurting as well. Pete, take it away. Can't wait to hear this.
That was not good last week, right? Brady getting sacked 4 times. That doesn't usually happen to him, and certainly, you never know how they're going to respond after a performance like that. But the key to the game might just be how well the Bucs offensive line holds up against the Rams defensive line, which is elite, and the Eagles offensive line is not. When I first looked at this, I was thinking a few things. I was thinking maybe over. I was thinking maybe Rams team total over. And, Brady is sort of immune to things like age, right? Offensive line injuries. It's no matter what, Brady to Evans is going to be awesome. So I was thinking about, regardless of who's on the offensive line, Evans yardage. Receiving yardage over prop. Maybe we'll see what the line is when it comes out. But regardless of who's on the offensive line, again, I would think we're going to see another big game from Evans, probably another 100-yard game from him. And it's fascinating. From a football analysis perspective, the way to disrupt Brady is just to pressure him up the middle. And it looks like the Rams are primed to do that, and the Bucs offensive line is going to be particularly vulnerable to that in light of what happened last week. But I've learned many times over the years that betting against Brady, you'll win once in a while, but it's more often than not something you want to be staying away from. So I don't know. And I was thinking maybe a sneaky play with OBJ yardage over as well. I think that. He's obviously developing good chemistry with Stafford. Stafford's going to be passing a lot no matter what. The Bucs obviously stuff the run, and so it's just going to be, Stafford passing a lot, and hopefully he'll have success with it. I don't think they're going to, try to change up the game plan that much. Just go with their strengths, and so we might get a relatively low yardage number. I'll be interested to see what that one is, because Cooper Kupp is going to be probably double teamed. I don't know what that yardage number is going to be, but it's probably going to be high, and they're probably going to try to shut him down. And then try to force Stafford to beat him some other way. So I'd be thinking about OBJ yardage over, prop receiving yardage over, and maybe the Rams team total over, and maybe just the full game over at 48. That's about all I got for you, Jimmy the Bag.
Well, looking forward to see what you make official there. And you were right. OBJ is a happy football player right now.
Yeah.
Nothing official at this point for P. We did move the show back to Wednesday so that we could have the player prop guys involved. You are one of them. Brizzy, we got our guy Brisbane coming on later. So we set it up for Wednesdays just to have your input here. So we'll be keeping our ear to the streets to see what you have here.
Anything that you've heard that agrees or disagrees with anything I said? Any comments coming in saying, Loshak doesn't know what he's talking about, or anything like that you can give to me, Jimmy the Bag?
No, nothing negative. Nothing.
Okay, good.
Nothing negative here, but
good.
The more that we cap this card with all these great cappers, the more I am understanding how live these Rams are.
For sure. Oh, are you kidding? Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, if it weren't for Brady, this would be, it's just like, again, Brady's kind of immune. You know what I mean? It's like, well, he's 52 years old. Maybe you want to bet a quarterback who's 52. No, it's Brady. So the rules don't really apply as much. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, and we'll see what you get to the window with here.
It might be just a no-brainer play. Evans receiving yardage over,
You don't think that Ramsey can lock him down? He's had great success against them.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm assuming that they will. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, the game plan is paramount there. Yeah, for sure. But we'll see what the line is.
I can't wait to see what you go to the window with. Let's keep rolling, but let's move on to Sunday action. So Rams and the Buccaneers. And we have the big Ragu fresh off of a 9-1 plus 8.05 unit week here last week. And he believes the Buccaneers can take care of business. He said in the chat that we're focusing so much on the new injuries to the offensive line in Wirfs and Jensen and not focusing enough on the defensive reinforcements that the Buccaneers have had and how good their defense is. Take it away. How are you betting Rams Buccaneers?
I heard I think I came on when Alex was talking, and I do lean the under. I might end up betting the under in this game, Jimmy, because I do think the Rams defense is going to hold Brady down, and I do like the Bucs defense. I think the Bucs defense will do a decent job, and I think maybe even McVay might come in with a somewhat conservative game plan here. But at the end of the day, I like the Rams here, and we're talking about offensive line. I can tell you if Wirfs truly has a high ankle sprain and you're going to line Von Miller up over top of him, I think Von Miller is going to go right around him. And believe me, Josh Wells played, 5 seasons for the Jaguars, and he's your backup left tackle. And I don't know if you watched, but I don't think it was Bosa. No, who was it last week? One of the defensive linemen just basically put Josh Wells into Tom Brady's lap. It was Kerrigan. For the Eagles. Kerrigan just pushed him right back into – so, I take the injuries into concern a little bit, but overall, this Rams defense is playing at a top-notch level. The defensive line's playing great. It doesn't help when you have Jensen and Wirfs banged up, even if they play. I think they will get some pressure on Brady, and then I just like the back end of the Rams. I like putting Ramsey on either Gronk or on Evans, either one of them. I think that Ramsey can shut down one of Brady's, and this is where it's really going to hurt Brady that he doesn't have multiple. He used to have 4 weapons to throw to, and now I feel like he's down to 2. And even if they get Fournette back, I think he's going to still be somewhat he won't be able to break away with an 80-yard run with a hamstring injury. But I just think this is the Rams' time, and I like getting 3 points here, so I'm on the Rams.
The best we can get you at this point is a minus 118
I'm fine
on
with
that
that.
3. So it's going to cost a little bit. You no problem with that juice associated?
No problem with that at all.
Okay, let's grab that here. I'm jumping on Will Hill just to make sure that this is the case here. I don't know if they're going to let me in. If anybody in America can check Will Hill, I'd really like to get a 5.5 if it's available. But let's lock Zoe in with the Rams plus 3 at minus 118. Rams plus.
Slatsy's saying it's minus 6 at Will Hill.
Thank you, Slatsy. Okay, so we're gonna line shop and get you the lowest vig on that spot there for the Packers. Okay, so let me know if you want to make anything official on 49ers Packers. We move on to your final game that you are going to be focusing on, that being the Rams Buccaneers on Sunday. Matty Stafford, fresh off his first ever playoff victory in his 13-year career, heading to where the GOAT chews grass at Raymond James Stadium. Take it away here, Rams Buccaneers.
Yeah, man. I heard you talking with Loshak about the Mike Evans shit. I'm with you, Jimmy. I don't know. Let's talk this one out. The shit kind of got me skeeved out. Like, on paper, this looks like an absolute smash spot for Mike Evans. He's been absolutely eating in the last couple of weeks, 14-plus fantasy points in 3 straight games. He's seen a combined 24 targets in those games, and the Bucs have no Godwin, Brown, not even some of their secondary players like Grayson. He's a little bit banged up. And, as every Tom Brady team does, next man up. And nobody notices. But I'm noticing the Rams have given up 18.6 points to Evans in their first meeting of the season. I think that's in the back of their mind. Ramsey back in the day used to play that shadow coverage. Over here on the Rams, I don't know. They don't really want to shadow him. I understand it makes more sense for team defense rather than prima donna starting safety who could potentially get hurt. I don't know. But ideally, if I was the Rams, but I'm not the Rams, I'm not a coach. Ideally, if I was the Rams coach, why the fuck wouldn't you shadow Mike Evans the whole entire game and let anybody else beat you? You want to be dumbasses and kick Antonio Brown off the fucking field because my man wanted to go get a fucking paycheck? Well, then now you're going to suffer and you're going to pay for it because the Rams are going to come in and whoop this team's ass. But in the meantime, though, we're going to try to catch these player props. Rob Gronkowski, he finally found the back of the end zone last week in last week's wildcard game. He had 5 catches for 31 yards off of 6 targets with at least 14 fantasy points in 3 games in a row. He had 4 catches for 55 yards and 8 targets against the Rams in week 3. You know me, man. If you haven't met me, I'm a big Gronk guy. I'm a big Gronk guy. He likes to party, get the work done. I respect it. That's how I want to be when I grow up, is Rob Gronkowski. Cash checks, retire, come back, do whatever the fuck you want to do and live in Tampa Bay, Florida. I can't imagine, man. But as I digress a little bit, Leonard Fournette, rumblings that he's going to be coming back this week throughout the first 14 weeks of the season. He started 13 games, and he was the team's leading rusher, and he was actually leading the league in receiving running back yards, which was – if you would have told me that before the season, I would have told you you're bullshitting, and I would have been a broke motherfucker if I would have paid against that. Because if you would have told me Leonard Fournette was the leading receiver in the NFL – for running backs, Uncle Benny, I would have told you you're crazy. But I don't know what we're going to do with this running back situation. We're probably going to have to get some news later on in the day. But if he was to be limited, I do like me some Gio Bernard. He looked really good last week. He came off of an injury, played 36 snaps, rushed the ball. I didn't even think he even rushed the ball. He was just catching the ball out there. Hey, he scored a touchdown and everything. We actually had a run-it-up parlay, and it was not Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski and Keyshawn Vaughn, both of them anytime touchdown. It was plus 475. It was one of the easier cashers of the weekend, so it was one of my favorite same-game parlay sections. But when it goes to the Rams in this one, not going to really tell you anything that you don't already know on Cooper Kupp, so you know what to do with Cooper Kupp. You play Cooper Kupp. Obviously, last week was a weird situation where they were blowing the team the fuck out so much. My man Cooper Kupp still caught the ball and said, hey, man, I got money on my over prop. I'm scoring this touchdown. That's what it felt like. I don't know if it's true, but that's what it felt like as a gambler. Odell Beckham, man, you know what the craziest part about the Odell Beckham situation is? People really thought fucking Odell Beckham Jr. was the fucking problem and not Baker Mayfield. In 6 games in Cleveland, he was targeted 34 times and had 17 catches. In 8 games with the Rams, he's been targeted 48 times and has 27 catches. Odell's back to being Odell. He might be a little prima donna pussy and all that, but at the end of the day, if he's going to catch the ball and he's going to be on the field and the books are not going to move his receiving yard, his reception yard props up, and people are not going to bet the over, I will be. Because Van Jefferson, I love me some Van Jefferson, but he's kind of more of a big play potential guy. He's had 4 receptions of 20-plus yards over the last 3 weeks, but he's only seen 5 targets just once over those weeks. I don't know if I really want to be fucking around some Van Jefferson stuff. Tyler Higbee, he's had 5 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown off of 5 targets. He's had at least 12 PPR points in 2 of his last 3 games, but I think that's not really the most consistent spot to really attack. When it comes to the running back situation with Cam Akers and Sony Michel, I don't really know what I really want to do with this one because I was sleeping on Cam Akers. I forgot Cam Akers was coming back until I loaded up the daily fantasy slate and I looked at the ownership rankings and it said Cam Akers at the top. I was like, what the fuck? How the fuck is he at the top of the leverage thing? I thought he was injured or something. Then, after the game, I'm sold. He's back. Sony Michel, go back in the doghouse. You're not jack shit. Cam Akers, this is his backfield, and he will be the king of the backfield, and he will be the cash cow of the backfield, and we will cash on the cash cow in the backfield.
The cash cow in the backfield.
Who said run on Tampa Bay? Good luck with that. Me and Birdie were talking about this, and he got me fired the fuck up, Jimmy, before the Eagles game. There's a little bit of me, I'm not going to lie. When we're sports teams down here in America, it's more of just the regional team that you are assigned to, and it's up to that person to decide if they would like to be fans of another team or not. Well, I decided I would like to be a fan of the Eagles at a very young age, and Birdie got me fired the fuck up last week, and he was talking about all this stuff about the run D. Check Tampa Bay's run D to the outside against a fucking Russian quarterback or anything that goes to the outside. I bet you when you look at the deep analytical stats, they fall right the fuck off, and they're not the best run defense. I'm telling you, dude, really look into the stats of Tampa Bay defending the outside rush. It's not as good as you think.
It's fuck you, Birdie. We're fighting. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, shit. Brizzy, I've loved your breakdowns here, and I can't wait to see what you are going to tweet out for the rest of the week, what you are going to make official. Are you making anything official here in Rams Bucks?
Yeah, man. We can't talk 20 minutes about the goddamn game and not talk about parlays. So I got me a little 2-legger to get going for this week. I always try to cap the games as a capper. I'm not trying to cap the games as the bookie. I'm just capping the games as a capper. So we're going to take the Packers plus 3.5 and the LA Rams plus 7.5 as a 2-leg parlay at minus 142. And that is going to be the honestly, that I don't know what day those 2 games fall on. This game is on Sunday?
Packers Saturday, Rams Sunday.
Yeah, it's paper for the people that are in the chat are like, what the fuck is up with this kid? Hey, dude, it's pay-per-view week over here on Pub Sports Radio, and the UFC can't even put up the fighters on the card until Tuesday. So as cappers, we have to watch their film on people that I haven't even seen ever in my life. So, it's been a long week this week.
Respect. We love the hustle and the work that you put into it. Did you want to make anything official for the 49ers Packers spot?
Nah, Jimmy, this is going to be the make sure you follow me over on Twitter at Getting Bills, because this is one where, sometimes you got to know your specialties in life. And one of my specialties in life is being able to gather information. Sometimes you gather these informations and these things, and you let Big Show cook behind the scenes and whatever. Sometimes Big Show be cooking up these plus money props, and we like to call them, we're hitting golf odds on player props. And dog, Big Show's, I'm gonna have a couple conversations with Big Show. Big Show's gonna get my mind rolling. I'm gonna start thinking about shit that as a capper, you don't think about plus 800 same game parlay odds of bunch of touchdowns and stuff like that. Those are just like set off in different days. And man, Preston, man, I still can't believe my man Preston could have been on a yacht right now if. Man, you got to hear that story, dog. That's for another day.
Well, great breakdowns here. We have 2 official spots at this point for our guy Brizzy. Packers plus 3.5, Rams plus 7.5 at minus 142, and we have a T Higgins anytime touchdown at plus 190. And I'll be keeping my ear to the streets, man. Whatever you tweet out, I will retweet, and we can make official. And you can add also with Chiefs, Bills, whatever you'd like, because the number 1 ranking is still within reach, Brizzy. So there we have Saturday night for Ski Profit. We move on to Rams Buccaneers, the first game on Sunday. Stafford traveling to Tom Brady. What a game this is going to be. How are you looking at this spot?
Yeah, this is, like I said, I'm keeping it simple. And what I think in this game, I want the better quarterback. And we all know how successful Tom Brady has been. He may not have all the weapons out there, but I'm still going to take him versus, I'm not so – the Rams had a good game plan versus the Cardinals. Kyler Murray looked scared. They just kept coming after him. And I just don't trust Matt Stafford to have as good of a game as we saw in that one. I think that's the best game I've seen the Rams play probably all year. And before that, Stafford has been a turnover machine. I think he had 7 turnovers or 7 interceptions alone, the previous 3 weeks before that, and a couple fumbles. So I just think he was put in a lot of good positions in that last game, like getting the ball midfield a couple times, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know how much of that he's going to get versus the Buccaneers. So I think he makes some mistakes if I got to choose between him and Tom Brady. So it's a little bit safe, but I took the Buccaneers on the money line here. And, I was thinking about this too. This game, the last game that we talked about, I like both of these sides to win, right? So I'm sure I saw the Packers plus 150 or better to win the NFC. I saw the Buccaneers like plus 250 or better to win the NFC. I like them both, like I said, to win the divisional round, and I only need one of them to win to, make a little bit of money. So I think I should take both of them, Buccaneers and Packers to win the NFC. What do you think about that, Jimmy?
I've done similar situations, similar bets and similar situations here. Interesting look at this because you're getting the Packers at plus 152 and the Buccaneers at plus 235. I'm going to quickly line shop and see if we can beat that. I can beat that for the Buccaneers. I can get you the Bucs at plus 260 at bet 365. I get it because if the Rams beat the Buccaneers, which wouldn't shock us, then can the Rams go into Lambeau and beat the Packers? And I think the answer is no.
Right. And I got to bet Matt Stafford turned the ball over 1,000 times versus Aaron Rodgers. Give me A-Rod. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it. And then also we have a money line bet on the Buccaneers. That's not that expensive. I mean, Pinnacle has it at minus 143. So it's not like you're using a ton of juice here. Like if we were in Vegas and you wanted to, I know you are in Vegas, but if we wanted to open up and make a much bigger bet, minus 143 is not that bad. So I get. Do you want to make all 3 of those official here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So we have the Bucks minus 143. I bet you some of the guys that are competing for the top spot are sitting here watching you drop these future bets going, oh, shit.
Hey, I got to do a little something to keep up with the sauce, man. Ragu, killing it out here.
I don't know. Okay, let's lock this in here for you. It'd be interesting to see let's just see what if Circa can beat any of these looks. And no, 250 for the Bucks. Okay, so let's lock in. So he's on Bucks minus 143. The best line for the Packers is over at Pinnacle at plus 152. Packers NFC. And then we have plus 260 on the Buccaneers. That's 235 at Pinnacle. Let me just say that plus 260 over at Bet 365. So plus 260 Bucks NFC. Plus lines on both of them. I get it. I absolutely get it.